It's time to honestly give my thoughts now, guys, about Eve, Stellar Blade, and whether or not she should be sexualized to the degree in which she was. Because it's time to talk about this now that I've spent a few hours into this game, and I've had a chance to experience what it is all about. To sum up the controversy, people were complaining, journalists, cloud chasers, you name it, man. They were complaining that this game was all about Eve's body, and because her boobs bounced too much, and because she had a thick rear end, that they were just trying to sexualize her to the nth degree, and that's not okay in video games anymore. Never mind the fact that sexualizing women, for the most part, let's be real here, has been around since the 90s. I mean, frick, Lara Croft was actually featured on the cover of Playboy. I mean, it's kind of been around a little bit. And to be fair, even guys these days, video game character guys that is, are getting more and more sexualized as the years go by. And after playing through this game, guess what? It's not a big deal. And I don't care if they quote-unquote sexualize Eve and make her sexy. Because, spoiler alert, guys like sexy women in video games, and girls typically like sexy guys in video games. I have zero problems if the developers of Stellar Blade want to make Eve as sexy and boobalicious as they possibly can. And yes, that's the term I'm going with at this point, is boobalicious. And the reason being is kind of for a few reasons. One, artistic vision. I know it's kind of a weird thing to say that if an artist or a director or the video game people that are making this game want the boobies to bounce, then you know what? That's their choice. And yes, they might be middle-aged men that are just really horny and thirsty, and that might be their sole reasoning, but that is still their right to do so. And no, I have zero issues, by the way, if female developers want to make a game featuring a super sexy guy who wears only a banana hammock and has his genitals and his dick bouncing up and down furiously in front of the camera. As a matter of fact, I would actually think that would be very funny, very fun, and would probably still buy that game just to actually see what it is like. And the other reason why I don't care about any of this drama involving Eve and how sexual she is and what her purpose is, it's because this game, at its core, is a very solid and fun video game. It would be one thing if this game was utter trash, and it was clearly that the whole sole purpose was to make Eve's boobs go up and down vigorously in front of a camera. But it's not. Far from it. The story is compelling enough to keep me entertained and engaged and wanting to know what happens next. The exploration and the world design is actually pretty cool, even if some of the platforming sections are a little bit weird and clunky. But the combat is just so invigorating and a ton of fun, man. It's like Nier Automata meets a Souls-like, and I love it. Not to mention that graphically, it looks fantastic and it performs really well on the PlayStation 5. I really like the skill tree. I love the outfits, the customization options. All of this stuff is basically me saying that this is just a really well polished video game, and I do not agree that their sole purpose was to sexualize Eve, because they made such a dang fun game. Eve is sexy. That is basically what they're trying to communicate in this game. She's an android and she's sexy. And you know what? That's fine, because Lara Croft is considered sexy, and Tifa is considered sexy, and 2B is considered sexy, and there are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of female characters in video games that are considered sexy. And you know what? Most guys are typically probably considered sexy too, if you like to check out guys. Daddy Kratos has been looking pretty dang good in my opinion. And you know what? Nathan Drake isn't exactly Mr. Ugly now, is he? Because people, when they play games, whether you like it or not, they like to look at attractive lead protagonists, whether or not it's a boy or a girl. They want them to be attractive. Nobody, for the most part, wants to run around with a really ugly, unappealing, unattractive type of character for 40 to 50 hours at a time, okay? They at least want them to look somewhat pleasing. And if it just so happens that Eve's boobs go up and down and bounce for you, that's not a big deal in my opinion. Was this game created for the sole purpose of sexualizing a female, and is this game just a horrible thing because it sexualizes Eve? The answer, in my opinion at least, is no. And this whole controversy, for the matter, is just stupid. I don't even notice the boobs bouncing up and down. I legitimately never notice it, despite whatever outfit I'm wearing, because I'm so focused on how fun the combat is and me trying to defeat my enemies on the screen, that the last thing I'm thinking about are, oh my gosh, Eve's tits are just going at it, aren't they? That's not even the focus. I don't even notice it because, like I said, I'm so enamored with everything else that is going on in the game. So please, get off your high horse, stop worrying about how sexy Eve is, just acknowledge that she is and move on with your day. The game is fun, give it a try, and look, here's the thing, if you don't like this approach, if you do feel for whatever reason that she's over-sexualized and that's the sole purpose of this game, don't play it, don't buy it, speak with your wallet. The only way you're gonna get these 40-year-old middle-aged men to quit making sexy female characters in video games is by not buying games with sexy female characters. And I just say that out loud and it sounds utterly stupid because that's just how it's going to be. And it's then the same thing, like I said, when the next big game comes out that has a male protagonist, even if they don't sexualize them to the degree of Stellar Blade's character, you can bet they're going to be attractive because that's what sells at the end of the day. We like to look at attractive people. It's literally human nature. This whole controversy, in conclusion, was stupid and unwarranted, and Stellar Blade is a stellar video game. I am Bradley Overrated, out like a trout, glory to mankind, and for everybody angry about this game for this stupid controversy, I've got a little clip for you here at the end to enjoy. Later.